the front end of the main field. As we can see now, this is a big organised lead out now. That was NetApp on the front, followed by Team Saxo Bank, and still none of the big teams are considered it the right time to come to the front end of the main field. They're still playing that waiting game.
Well, if NetApp win this stage, that will be a surprise. I'm not sure who their sprinter is on that squad. It's a squad we don't see race very often. And they've come over to the Tour of California. Good to see the team well organised, though, at the front. As riders now becoming a little bit nervous of conditions here. This is Jesus Del Nero Montez, also from NetApp, who's hanging on the tail of the peloton.
Right, now a different team coming to the front. This looks like United Healthcare. Now they are a team that they could well be thinking about trying to get Carl Menzies a chance of a victory on the front end of the main field. We're inside of 5 kilometers to go now. That's around about 3 miles of racing.
Or maybe Tour de France stage winner Robert Foster, who's on that squad now as well. They're all here. Can they get themselves in the right position? I think the rain, which just dumped on us, has gone off again, but the road's now quite clearly damaged done. They're quite wet and slippery. You can hear the crowds just shouting these riders all the way around this circuit.
Well, you've got to really wait, I think, on this lead out today. It's 700 meters from that corner to the finish line, and most of these guys, they don't want to sprint. The big sprinters like to sprint for the last 150 to 200 meters.
The charge at the moment, it looks as though just being led there by Svein Tuft. He's the time trialist and the oldest man on the Spidertech team there on the front, setting the pace too.
Well, Team Spidertech looked after by Steve Bauer. He knows exactly. They've got a couple of very good sprinters in their squad as well. And they caused a bit of a surprise a couple of years ago in the Tour of Missouri when they took on some of the best sprinters in the world. And they showed them a fast pair of wheels. But Saxo Bank are a drilled squad. They've now come back to the front end of the main field, and they're looking after JJ Haedo.
And creeping up on the left, the boys in black from the UK. It's Sky Cycling Team looking to get Ben Swift over the line first. They go to the bell. 1 lap to go on this opening day of the Amgen Tour of California. And you can see by the tyre tracks, the roads now are glacial, and they will take chances now, that's for sure.
If you're a sprinter, this is the time when you don't give up at all. You stay at the front end of the main field. That's Dave Zabriskie just coming through there. He's comfortably in the main field. His goals are a little bit further down the road of the Amgen Tour of California this year, the time trial around Solvang, for example. But the sprinters are having their day here this afternoon, and the big pressure is coming on at the front end of the main field, and Saxo Bank, Phil, are still very much in control.
Now, just quickly remind you of the race rules that once we are 3 kilometers from the finish, if anybody does fall off, they will take the time of the winning cyclist, so they won't lose time in the overall of this race. And they'll be desperate to get inside 3 kilometers to go. I think a sensible rule, and we're inside. So everybody gets the same time today. The winner gets the golden jersey as race leader of the Tour.
Saxo Bank in control. I can't see any organisation yet from HTC High-Rider. Just noticed Thor Hushovd right in the mix there, waiting in the wings, left and right, zigzagging all over the road. These are the moments when the sprinters know just exactly why we call them the warriors of the road.
Well, the work rate now by Team Sky as they try to get Ben Swift lined up for the finish. Swifty is really on top of his form, as if he can get to the front here now. They've got the complete control of the peloton as we go into 2.5 kilometers to go to the finish.
Thor Hushovd moving right up into the middle there. He's a man who's been in situations like this many, many times in his life. You notice his white jersey with the rainbow bands around him. Not too far away either, Peter Sagan, the rider from Liquigas Cannondale. But it is Team Sky have got complete control. In fact, Greg Henderson is in second position. I would have figured that Greg Henderson would be looking after Ben Swift as being the lead-out man.
Greg himself is capable of delivering a sprint to win, but the fact he is in second position, he's too far up the line at this stage, so he is looking to Swift to take him to the line now. They've come off that corner very well indeed, wisely taking it wide. Just caught a glimpse there of the clean bottle. That's the guy where the bottle opens at both ends, by the way. 1.3 miles in the peloton for the finish. Everybody mastering the circuits of Sacramento. Let's hope it stays that way, because there's an awful lot of movement, but Team Sky have learned a lot. They've got all of the boys on the front.
Well, they've been waiting for this moment. They've got control gingerly around that corner. Everybody's safely there. It's a big lead-out train now for Team Sky, and this is the way to win a sprint. They've got 5 riders at the front end of the main field, and you can be absolutely certain that behind them, riders are battling to get into the slipstream of Ben Swift. 1 man down now. They're down to 4 riders at the front end of the main field, and in fact, Greg Henderson has slipped back into 3rd position there, Phil, and behind him is Ben Swift in 4th.
So Henderson, if he can't do it himself, has got Swifty right in his slipstream here, but coming up on the left in the white is Bernard Eisel trying to guide through Matthew Goss under the Kenda. 1 kilometer to go now. Just less than 0.7 of a mile to the finish here. And so far, it's still advantage Sky.
Well, Peter Sagan has got himself right up to the front. Oh, and everybody's taking lots of risks. And that's what sprinting is all about. You've got to keep calm and collected. Bernie Eisel looking over his shoulder says, Matty Goss, where are you, mate? Well, he says, I'm right here, right in the mix, and I'm looking for the wheel of Ben Swift.
Well, this is the last desperate to lead out now. I think it might be Ian Stannard who's just swung off there from Sky, leaving now Henderson to take Ben Swift to the line. There's still 3 of them left in the Sky team. Sagan trying to get in on terms as well. This is a tremendous piece of team riding by Sky. If any team deserves to win, then now's the time to go. But there's a switch over to the left with Eisel, and Matt Goss has gone over to the left as he tries to get to the middle here. As now the Sky goes, and Ben Swift goes as well, but they're outridden at the moment. This is going to be a very, very fast finish. Ben Swift is going to take it on the line. Well, that's how you do it. Swifty has just got the victory for Sky.
Well, that was all down to the team, Phil. That was a perfect lead out. They did a great job there. 5 riders inside of the final kilometre. Then it was down to 4, then down to 3. A little bit chaotic, though, because the sprint was going left and right. Matty Goss went a little bit too early there. Yeah. You can see JJ Hayedo looking across. He knows he's a beaten man on this occasion and getting himself a victory number 5, Phil, of this year. What a great sprinter he's turning out to be.
He won in Australia in January. He won in Spain in April. He won in Switzerland in May. And now again in May, he has won in Sacramento, California. Ben Swift, he's only 23 and a half years of age, this young man. What a future. And Sky have got a great victory.
They certainly had. He had to dig in very deep there, though, Phil, because it got a bit confusing over the last 100 metres or so. Matty Hayman congratulating him there.
Well, they did the work. Each and every one of them did the work to keep him in position to win that. The rain was a bit of a threat, but in the end, he conquered everything.
No.
Well, what a season, young Ben.